I hate lists. How can you compare the original Super Mario Brothers to something like Grand Theft Auto 5? You can't. Mario's a lot better. I'm begrudgingly doing the top 5 best video game soundtracks. Begrudgingly. Now, this list isn't exactly definitive. This is just my top 5 favorite video game soundtracks. It's not like there was a committee of people working on this or anything. It was just me. Let's dive right into number 5. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. 3. The original had an amazing soundtrack, but it didn't have AFI, CKY, Motorhead, Del the Funky Homo Sapien. I'm going to be playing a song from each soundtrack on this list, but I'm not going to be playing a song from this soundtrack because I will definitely get flagged by YouTube. But here's 3 seconds of a song. Everything else on this list are original soundtracks. So number 4, we have The Last of Us. This deserves a really high spot on the list, but you know what? The fact that it's even on the list should be enough for you, so shut up. I'm sorry. This soundtrack was composed by Gustavo Santano. Yep, you can see a little behind the scenes of the soundtrack right here. Some of the stuff he uses to create some of the sounds is pretty awesome. It's worth checking out. And let's not forget about the amazing title song and the wacky guitar he uses to make it. Next, number 3, Red Dead Redemption. I love Westerns. I also love me some fat beats. That's why this song right here is one of my favorite songs from an original soundtrack. When they created the soundtrack, they wanted the tracks to be able to layer on themselves. So for example, if you're just walking around the plains, maybe some ambient notes will play. But if you jump onto a horse, some other track will layer on top of that, maybe a smooth guitar. If you get into a gunfight on top of that horse, they'll add drums. It's all seamless. Not to mention the emotional moment when you finally enter Mexico. That song makes that part.
Step in front of a runaway train, just to feel alive again, pushing forward through the night, aching just to lower aside. It's so far away. It's so far away.
Number 2, Mega Man X. These songs are crazy intricate, and they're limited to the sounds that the SNES can make. Here's one of my favorite songs from it. Before going to number 1, I'll give an honorable mention. Sonic Adventure 2. Don't laugh. This title song is awesome, especially when it comes on again during the final battle with whatever the hell that thing is. number 1, Sonic 3. You can't give me any shit for this pick. Michael Jackson wrote most of it. And again, they had to deal with the limitations of the Sega Genesis. They were even able to throw in Michael Jackson's woos and yeahs. Here's one of my favorites. And here's some woos and yes. What do you guys think? What are some of your favorites? I'd like to see a consensus between all of you. Leave it in the comments below. At me on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. Talk to us. Most importantly, share this video with your friends. Thank you guys very much. Have a good week. In my opinion, it's fine that all 4 characters are dudes as long as that's what the story calls for. The 3 Musketeers are all dudes. The Ninja Turtles are all dudes. And if you screw with that formula, you get this abomination.
You know, sometimes at a GameStop.
I hear a lot that at comic book stores, girls get ridiculed.
I'll say that my girlfriend has told me from experience that she doesn't like going into comic book stores with me because she feels like she's being stared at, which I feel terrible about because that should not be the case.